It's not started yet.
Oh,
I'll tell you what. Yeah, now we're live.
Great. Well, welcome to Main Event Boxing, everybody. Hi, Spencer in New York City.
What's going on?
Hey, Nathan from the UK over there in England. Hey, Nathan.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Good to see you. So we haven't done a show in a while, so we have a few things to talk about. And did everyone see Boots fight Avanyan?
Avanasian, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact pronunciation, but what did you think of that homecoming fight, Spencer?
I mean, it was cool. I'm not expecting. I'm expecting what he did against Avanasian. Avanasian is a veteran. He's a seasoned vet. He was former champion. He has beat some names in his lifetime. So it was a decent enough test. I wouldn't think it will be some IBF championship test, but it was a decent enough test for his career so far. You know, he hasn't really had a lot of bigger names. Boots, that is. So
Yeah.
Avanasi.
Can you hear me?
Are you still there, Spencer?
He's not muted. So
Okay. Probably lost the signal there. What did you think of it, Nathan?
I thought it was the sort of test. What annoys me is Avanasian. Stop giving this bum as Spencer. Are you there? Stop giving Avanasian talk. You didn't finish what you were saying, did you? I'll let you.
No, go ahead though. No, go ahead. I was just going to say that it was a decent enough person to fight at this level of his career. You know, obviously, Boots is in a tricky situation because a lot of the bigger names they done left. Like Spence has moved up, Bud is moving up. You know, a lot of the welterweight names they done moved on. He has to wait for the new guys, the Haneys and stuff, to come up if he wants to compete at the welterweight division against some formidable opponents. But at the moment, there's really nobody at welterweight for him to really face because everybody else is moving up. Even Ortiz, the other top contender that was at welterweight that was coming up with him is at 154 now. So, you know, like Boots is kind of like in an area by himself.
I mean, Shakur Stevens. No, that's a stupid thing to say. Sorry, that's a different. Carry on talking if you still got more to say. Or are you?
Nah, well, I'm gonna add like he gotta wait for him to move up before he could get him in the thing. Shakur probably will be welterweight eventually, but not yet.
In a couple of years, yeah. In another year, maybe. The problem I've got is that Avanasian is a European level fighter. He's not a world level fighter. He never has been. He's just a European guy that managed to win a world title 8 years ago, a regular version. So for me, this sort of fight it's a tick over fight. It's just a warm up fight, and I think Boots can probably unify this division pretty easily with what's out there. You know, I mean, there isn't a lot out there. Once he unifies this division, he should probably look at moving up, or just keep defending his title. You know, he's in a situation where Bud was 10 years ago, right? 5-6 years ago, where he was defending the title all the time against people we knew he was going to beat. We just had to wait for him, you know.
Yeah, the kind of difference though between him and Bud is like right now there's no other belt. Like Bud is going to relinquish the belts once he beats or fights to do in 2 weeks. Madrimov.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If I can liken this situation, it's the same as when Carl Froch was meant to fight Joe Kawasaki. You knew that Crawford's too good. It's the same sort of situation.
Yeah. At the moment, you know, Crawford, I mean, Boots, laterally speaking, on the other champs, because what was this, an IBF title fight, right? So laterally speaking, WBO, I mean, I know Bud didn't relinquish those titles yet, but the top contenders in each of those divisions, you know, I mean, those would be some interesting fights. Maybe a Barrios versus Boots might be something that's going to happen.
He can clear these belts up in about 2 years or a year and a half, kind of the way things are going, because his next fight could be a unification for about one of the vacant belts. You know, that's,
Yeah, or Barrios, right? Doesn't Barrios got like a WBA belt?
he's the WBC interim, I think. Well, no, in fact, I
Oh,
think he might be the full champion now. Could you look it up for me,
yeah.
Tom, to see if Barrios is the
I,
full
I I
WBC?
I thought it was WBA, but I thought Barrios was a champion, so he could fight
WBC.
him next and unify.
But I think that was only. I'm not sure if Barrios has been elevated to that yet. That's all I wanted to say. Could you confirm that for us, Tom? Look that
I'm
up
looking
quick.
for it.
Thank you.
Because I don't right, because Bud didn't really give up his titles yet, right?
No, he got stripped of the IBF, the WBC.
He got stripped of the IBF,
He'll
but
get stripped of
right,
the WBC.
Yeah, I don't think he was stripped of any other title though. So we're talking about
Interim.
Mario Barrios, right?
Yeah, I think Barrios is the interim.
Yeah. Let's see.
The best way to look it up is go on right.
Yeah,
current
he's
boxing
interim.
champion.
He's definitely
Comes up.
interim. No, he's interim. You're right.
Okay. Is it
Let me
coming up?
chime in on this. He's
Go on.
interim. You were correct.
Yeah.
Here's what I see. First of all, Boots was off for a year. He looked a little slow with his defense, but what really impressed me, I expected him to win. And Avanasian is a cute fighter, and he was able to connect a few times. But I attribute that to Boots being a little rusty and also be in front of his home crowd. So he wanted to impress. So he threw his defense away a little bit. But what I really noticed is the size difference. I think he could move up to 154 now. And
Who?
compete. Boots.
what,
He's big. Did you see how much bigger he looked than Avanasian?
Yeah, I did. But what I'm asking is, shouldn't he clear this division up first, get the belts, get that recognition the same way Crawford did, rather than just move up?
I understand. But if he fights Crawford and beats him, he'll get the recognition rather
Yeah,
than
but no.
fights.
I'll come on camera and say this is what really frustrates. He's not ready. He's not on that level. He's at the beginning of his championship career, whereas Crawford is like nearly done. You know, he's nearly done.
Well, don't forget he's been very avoided, and Crawford doesn't want to fight him right now because there's not enough money in the pot for that. But the Turk may come.
Yeah.
If Crawford wins, the Turk may step in and put up the money for this fight.
Right. What does Crawford fighting Ennis do for his legacy? Nothing at all. Ennis is not a big enough name for me. He's not done enough. He doesn't deserve that fight. I'm probably
no Crawford. No, what is Crawford fighting at? 154 next?
Yeah, Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford want to fight Canelo, man.
He wants the big guys.
Yeah, he ain't fighting Ennis, man. I don't think he's gonna fight Ennis.
It'll never happen. The problem.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna fight Ennis.
Ennis is about 3 or 4 years away from where he will be. We know he will be. If he fights the kiddies away, he will be as good as Crawford. But it's going to take him another 2-3 years to get there. That's all I'm saying. I don't see the point why everyone has to rush this fight. You know, even if it doesn't happen, Crawford was the best of his era, and Ennis will probably be the best of his era. He doesn't need Crawford. He can build a career without Crawford. People seem to think that's the be-all end-all. It's not, is it? Sorry, you've got Shackles Stevenson. You've got all these guys that are coming up that are going to be the future greats. He doesn't need Crawford. Doesn't do anything. I mean, it does, but then somebody else will come along. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but it's money, and that's what talks in boxing. If he could get a fight with Crawford, it'll be big money.
Yeah, but it's not. What I'm trying to say is that if he has that fight and he gets destroyed in 2-3 rounds, all that money that he could potentially make in the future, it'll be gone.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's people like you and Spencer that keep rushing these guys. You're the sort of fans that want to rush these guys before they're ready. I don't get it.
Yo, I just said I don't think that Crawford and Boots is gonna fight each other because Crawford gonna go up to Canelo. And I think that Boots is gonna stay at welterweight to clean out the division. I don't understand how you saying I'm rushing him. I'm not saying that he gotta fight Crawford.
No,
because I'm like, I agree. Like, I don't think he should fight Boots. Yeah, I mean Crawford. They on different planes.
Yeah.
You know.
And different parts of their career. And it's not like Boots hasn't had a few fights. He's had 40-something fights.
The same as Anthony Joshua.
He had that many fights?
Yeah.
I thought he was in the 20s. I thought he was in his 20s.
It's the same situation as Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua, but the difference is those two are fighting. That's the only difference.
Yeah, those two are fighting, but that's because Dubois wound up getting the title,
Yeah.
and Joshua wants it.
Yeah. Joking.
So
Piranha's had 32 fights. I'm sorry.
yeah, okay.
That's
Because I was like,
not nothing.
But 32 fights against two. This is my point. It's people like you, Tom, that if you were a boxing promoter, you'd be dangerous because you'd ruin all their careers.
Well, he's talented and he's growing. I don't think he's going to be able to stay a welterweight. Maybe
No.
another year, maybe, but we'll see. He's getting into a position like Spence was, where he's getting too big for that division. We'll see. Shall we move on to Jake Paul? Do we want to spend a lot of time on that?
We can spend a few minutes on it.
All right. Well, why don't you take it since you put it up there?
It was his usual kind of performance. He knocked the guy out, probably a bit later than what he should have done, but it's a good performance. He did what he needed to do. He'll keep on his path of destroying these decrepit old UFC fighters who nobody cares about. I ain't got nothing more to say, really.
Well, he fought a bare knuckle champion. What do you have to say about that, Spencer?
it was what it was. I didn't even see the fight, so I can't comment on the fight. I said,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I didn't see the fight. I didn't expect too much from it, and sure enough, I was gonna pay for it. No damn Jake Paul versus Mike Perry.
No way. But you know what's interesting about this now? This flip on the YouTube boxers. Remember when Top Rank used to have Butterbean, the first match of the card, and he was the king of the 4-rounders, knocking everybody out? It was like a show. Now it's in reverse. Like Jake Paul is actually putting some real boxers together now on his card, but the circus show is saved for the end. So I actually think he's helping Amanda Serrano, and there was another good fight on there where a guy knocked out another guy, and it was going to be the knockout of the year. I don't know.
I mean, listen, kudos that Serrano is getting pay-per-view eyes on her, and her name is getting a little bit more popular. She's a damn Manny Pacquiao of women's boxing, so she should get a lot of recognition.
Yeah. So I mean, at least he's training. He just stayed away from this guy and unloaded. He played it safe, but I think we can move on. What do you guys want to do? Move on here?
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Real quick though, his brother said he's going to try to start boxing again too.
So what do you think of this? You put this up there, Spencer, about Usyk and McGregor. I mean, is this really going to happen?
Well, I think this was a play on after the Fury rematch. Usyk is open to other ideas.
Okay. Well,
because that's what I gathered from this. It wasn't directly because they was talking about John Jones and fighting John Jones in a crossover type of fight.
Who,
so,
Usyk?
Yeah, if he beats Fury.
Okay.
So.
I don't know about these things.
I'd like to see Usyk either retire or drop down the weight because he's boring. He's a good fighter, but he does nothing for the heavyweight division. We need to get rid of him as quick as possible. And just if
he loses the rematch, what do you think should happen? You think they should do a trilogy?
I want to see him walk away. I want to get some of the other bigger punches in there. He's too boring to make the heavyweight. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter, but for the normal fans, they just want to see the big guys, not like him.
Yeah, they want to see the knockouts.
I'd rather see him drop down to bridgerweight or cruiserweight again, where he's more exciting. The lower the weight he is, the more exciting he is.
Well, he was pretty exciting against Fury. That was
a decent fight.
It was.
Good job, Fury.
Yeah, he hurt him bad. He broke his nose, and then he almost had him. He had him out on his feet.
I just don't think he can carry on too much longer at this weight. I think he's better off at a lower weight because he could have a longer career there. If he stays at heavyweight, he's just going to get in with these big. You can't have too many fights like he had with Fury. When you're a small guy like that.
Well, he survived Joshua. He survived Fury. I mean, the guy is amazing for what he is. You're right. I agree with you. He should get out.
or just drop down the division, drop down to Bridgeweight, make the Bridgeweight division more interesting. You know, it'd be better if you could.
Yeah, he could definitely do that. I'm open for that.
I don't
I
think
don't
he'll
want to see him
make the amount of
retired.
money,
Just don't
though.
want to see him as a heavyweight.
No, I think with the money he's making with Fury, he'll be happy. He'll ride off into the sunset and do these,
He's,
you know.
he probably will. He probably will.
He'll win the rematch as well. He'll win the rematch as well.
That's highly likely if Fury does what he did the last time. He get his ass kicked.
But Fury has got rid of his dad out the corner now. He's got rid of him. He told him he don't want him in the corner anymore.
Well, yeah, his dad is pretty toxic. Too
But
distracting. Too distracting.
Yeah.
All right. What about this next bout here with coming up next week, Joyce and Chisora? Nathan, why don't you tell us? We had a brief discussion about this. Tell us your viewpoint on it.
I think Fury is at the end, and if his last performance against Joe Washington, he looked dreadful. Even though Joyce has been knocked out twice, I still think Joyce is going to get him out of there pretty quickly. It's between 6 and 7 rounds. He'll just grind him down. He hasn't got the resistance to take Joyce's punches.
You think he's a better boxer than Joyce?
Yeah, well, probably. Yeah. But I think Joyce has got more power, and he's going to drill him down, grind down.
Right. Spencer said he'd be right back. Well, let me give you my opinion on this. I'm going to agree with you that Joyce is the fresher of the two. I think that Chisora, you never know with Chisora. I mean, if he finds a hole, he's going to hit you, and he's going to hit you hard. So, but I think at this stage of the game, I think Joyce has more in the tank, and Chisora does not hit as hard as Zhang does. So Zhang being the big equalizer with the punch, I think he's gonna swarm Chisora and probably take him out.
Right. People say Joyce is finished. He's not. He just lost to a guy who's a top 5 heavyweight. So he's not finished. He just lost to a guy who's got a better punch than that's all. And, you know, from this win, he could probably get a fight with Manuel Charlo, get a fight for the European belt. You know, I don't think he'll beat the guys like, who's that guy who beat Frank Sanchez, the Turkish-German guy?
Ajit Kabaya.
He wouldn't beat Ajit Kabaya, but he could beat the guys outside the top 15.
Spencer, what's your take on it?
Like you guys say, I think Joyce will win. Chisora, I don't think got enough left to really stop him. You know, these is Chisora's last days. I'm surprised they still even giving him paychecks, but you know, he's an entertaining enough fight, I guess. Definitely over there. So it's a definite good enough domestic scrap.
Yeah,
it'll be
I think Chisora has more heart than Joyce. We know he is. That's the difference. That's the only thing I'd say.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because he couldn't get up, and when he
because he can take more beatings. Whereas Joyce, if you get him hurt, like when Parker hit him, he kind of sort of like backed up a bit. Whereas Fury can take a beating. I think Fury's got better.
Chisora.
About Fury or Joyce? Hold on.
I think Chisora has better resistance than what Joyce has, probably.
Got it.
But that's the difference. But Joyce is not going to give him the chance to hurt him, so he'll just grind him down.
Well, I think Joyce showed good resistance up until he got with Zhang, you know?
Yeah, but now it's not so great. So he has to finish Chisora early in the first 6 rounds. If he doesn't, then he's going to be in trouble.
What were you going to say, Spencer?
Yeah, no, I was going to say the same thing. Like Chisora, he's taken a lot more punishment than Joyce has, and has stood up still over the course of a lot of that punishment, especially in the later days. He had some wars against White, Parker,
Carlos
Takam. Yeah, so he I mean, this could be his last time though. Joyce might be the shell cracker.
I don't think Chisora should have chosen Joyce. I think he should have chosen somebody outside the top 40, like a Dave Allen or someone like that. You know, someone who can't really do a lot of damage to him.
Huey Fury. Yeah, somebody that's not really going to knock him out or damage him too much.
Babbage would have been one.
Yeah.
Easy fights, easier fights.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Serrano. 2 rounds TKO over Stevie Morgan. I saw the fight. Did you guys see the fight?
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
What about you, Spencer?
Yeah, I like I said, I didn't see the card. I just heard the seen the highlights of it. Serrano, you know, she the Manny Pacquiao. I'm always in her corner. She a Puerto Rican from Brooklyn, so I'm with her.
She was all over her, Spencer, but the girl wasn't dazed. She took the punches. It didn't seem that Serrano had a lot of power. She had a lot of speed and she was accurate, but the girl was not really. They stopped the fight, I think, because of the number of punches, but she wasn't in trouble in the sense of
She wasn't hurt.
not really. But they were right to stop it. She could, she couldn't take a beating like that for round after round. Or maybe she could have, but it wasn't. Serrano looked
They
good.
was doing three. They was doing 3-minute rounds.
I don't recall, but I think there were two. But I'm not taking anything away from Amanda. She just didn't have she doesn't have a lot of power in her last few fights. She hasn't been getting knockouts, and I didn't see this one as being a TKO, other than the fact that she was landing a lot of punches. But the girl wasn't really hurt. Anyway,
What was the weight?
I don't remember. The girl looked bigger than her though, but I don't remember what the weight was. I think it was above her normal weight.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Okay.
But I'm not taking anything away from Amanda. She's great.
Why do we have to see her and Katie Taylor have a rematch? Because we know it's going to be dodgy scoring again. So I just don't see the point of having the rematch. To be honest, it would just be silly scores again. Last time.
Yeah. Well, it's a money fight. Maybe they could both make money. So Olga Linares backs Gervonta Davis to knock out Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Let's hear your guys' opinion on that.
Yeah, I think he would where he is in his career now, where Lomachenko, I think he'd knock him out. Definitely.
And what about you, Spencer? Do you think he can knock out Lomachenko?
I think he could put him on his butt a few times to make sure it's like you could see who was doing the most damage in the fight. I don't know if he'll stop him, but I know he'll put him on his butt.
Well, Davis is
put him on his butt.
Very strong puncher, no doubt. And Lomachenko is starting to get long in the tooth.
Yeah.
Whether it's a knockout or not, I don't know. This is two southpaws against each other.
Yeah, but Davis would definitely win because he's in his prime, and now Lomachenko's out of his prime. Well, out of his prime.
I don't think Davis has fought anybody who could move like Lomachenko.
He hasn't.
Did you call anyone who could move like Lomachenko?
No, but it doesn't matter. Devin Haney beat him. He's lost fights before, so this is Tank's up there. He's the best lightweight in the division.
Tank is doing this. He's finding a way to catch up with the fighter after a while because he loses quite a few rounds early on. He was losing a few rounds to Martin when he fought Martin.
Yeah. To be honest,
till he caught him.
Davis should really be undisputed by now. How he's avoided all these fights and not have fought these guys and not been involved when you've got people who are nowhere near as good as him, who have been undisputed champion this way. I just find it quite puzzling to me why he hasn't unified this.
Part of it, I'm gonna chalk it up to part of it being a business. He was able to get away with fighting pay-per-view guys, and he was probably getting like 80-20 splits out of those guys. Where if he was to fight the Devin Haney's and the Lomachenkos, he would have to split the pot 50-50. He might not, they might have not been his team might have not wanted to do that yet. So
I just read, I think it was this morning, that Golden Boy has turned down signing him.
It's part of my thing. It's part of my thing.
Oh well, let's hear about it. Let's hear about it.
It's later on. It's on one of the things. What are we up to now?
Well, that Lomachenko was actually pulled out of this fight.
Yeah. He's saying that they wait until the end of the year wait until next year to fight again.
I think that makes sense because he just got out of a rough fight, and he's got the war in Ukraine, and he wants to spend time with his family. I think he needs time to heal.
I mean, I'll give him that if he needs the time to heal. He is getting older. You might want to take a little bit more time off. I wouldn't say he had a tough fight. I wouldn't say he had a tough fight with Kambosos because he
Yeah.
stopped Kambosos kind of easily. But
Couldn't he fight like a guy right down the bottom of the list and just take a voluntary against the worst opponent there and just do that just to stay active? To me, that would make more sense.
Lomachenko?
Yeah. Just have an easy
You
fight.
wouldn't listen. You wouldn't really want to do that because at this stage of his career, you might want the next fights that he has to be bigger, as big fights as it can be, because he does break down, and you don't want him to have a fight, go into training camp, hurt himself fighting a nondescript dude, and then postpone, another fight. Just let him heal up. If he needs time to heal and want to spend time with his family and all of that, let him do all of that, and then come back next year and let him fight Tank. I don't understand why he wouldn't do that though. Like, when did he fight Kambosos?
About 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah. 2 months
Yeah,
ago.
I mean, it was still quite a few more months in the year that he could have.
He's had a couple of rough fights. I mean, that fight with Devin Haney was a tough fight, which I think he won. But that was a tough fight. And then his matches have been tough the past 3 matches, I think. Even though he's looked good. I think he deserves a little rest and whatnot, but he may not be psychologically ready to get back in the ring. He tried to get a title back for a long time, and I think he wants some relief now that he has a belt again.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, Virgil Ortiz wants to fight. The fight was postponed because they were supposed to fight August 3rd too, Ortiz and Tszyu. But for whatever, I forgot. I think Tszyu got hurt.
Well, what happened was he went ahead and he fought the tall guy and he lost, with the bad cut.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
What was his name? The champion.
Sebastian.
Yeah, the real tall guy, right? The Mexican guy.
Yeah, Sebastian Fundora.
Yes, and his sister's a champion too. That's right. So, so that fight was supposed to happen, but he went with Sebastian instead. Something happened with Ortiz, I think. He had to pull out, and so
I thought he had somebody. Did he have a cut on his eye or something?
Ortiz, I don't
When
remember. But
there was something happened that one of them had to pull out.
I think it was a training issue.
Yeah, I think he got hurt in training. I thought it was a cut in training, but so he wanted to fight, but he still wanted to fight Tszyu. So.
Well, it's still a good fight, and that's a good one. I mean, Ortiz. Who do you think will win with that, guys?
I haven't seen Ortiz enough at 154 because he had only the one fight. The last fight he was out.
Yeah, he came out and knocked the guy out early. Remember?
Yeah. So that was his first fight at 154, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nathan?
I don't think Tszyu would win, to be honest. I think he shouldn't be heading into another big fight like this. It don't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a tough fight. I think he would. I think he should take his time and get a rematch for the championship.
Yeah.
So y'all think Tszyu shouldn't fight Ortiz?
No, I don't think
Not
so.
that Ortiz shouldn't fight Tszyu. You think Tszyu shouldn't fight Ortiz?
Yeah, I agree. All right. What about now? I'm sorry, I didn't see it down here. I read it, but then I saw it here at number 9. We were going to talk about De La Hoya won't sign Shakur.
Yeah,
give us an update on that, Spencer.
I'm really baffled as to why he wouldn't want to sign Shakur.
I'm not actually. I mean, Shakur have problems with Floyd?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a lot of commotion when Floyd was representing him?
Yeah.
I mean, is Floyd still representing him? I'm not sure.
Wait, with Shakur?
Oh, Shakur. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm thinking of Davis. I'm thinking of Davis. Sorry.
Yeah, no. It's Shakur. Like, cause his last fight that he had a couple of weeks ago was his last fight under Top Rank. So.
Right. Well, I would say, based upon Shakur's 2 recent fights, that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Shakur. I think he's a great boxer, but he's not punching. He's not taking these guys out dramatically. And De La Hoya is all about mixing it up, right? But De La Hoya and Top Rank have history, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe
he keeping away from him because of the Top Rank stuff and the stuff he said about Top Rank.
you know,
I mean, they don't really be messing with black fighters anyway, even though Shakur is Puerto Rican.
yeah, I don't think it would make a difference. I mean, if he's Puerto Rican, he's Puerto Rican, right? He's dark. And we got Tito Trinidad was dark. Well, I mean, Puerto Rican fighters can be mulatto or black or white, whatever.
Yeah, no. I was just saying, like, the Hispanic heritage that might entice De La Hoya. Because Golden Boy, they have a lot of Hispanic fighters in their stable. So,
right.
you
Was there
would
any
think-
reason given? Because I'm trying to find why on the site here, and I don't see the article.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull that up.
I don't. All I see is the title, with your link. So, Gold. I saw something else. So, what do you think? You think Shakur should go with him, Spencer? Spencer?
Spencer.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. What about you? Well, what about you while he's looking that up, Nathan? You think they should sign him or what? Or do you not care? It's okay if you don't care.
Not really. I think he needs to go somewhere else, like Eddie Hearn would be a good place for him, Matchroom would be good for Shakur, I think.
Right. So all I can see here is let's see what these are 2 days ago. So let's see. It's ruled out. Golden Boy ruled out. Why? He's looking for a better deal than offered by Top Rank and on a 5-fight minimum $15 million offer, which Newark fighter refused. So he's looking for money.
He's not worth that kind of money.
But not for me. I believe that when somebody says they're not fighting for the public, I cannot promote them.
He's not a £15 million fighter anyway.
That's
exaggerated, more like probably 5.
No, but I listen. I mean, I get it, and it's sad in this day and age. Boxing, a lot of the names are now being pushed on pay-per-view. So his thought may be 5 fights and 15 million. That's averaging out $3 million a fight. Whereas in 3 to 4 fights from now, I could have fights against Tank, against Lomachenko, against these bigger names that could be on pay-per-view that I could make more than $3 to $4 million off of.
The only way I reckon Eddie Hearn, if he said, right, you take less money, I can build you up in 2 or 3 fights. If Eddie Hearn does it, then he'll become a bigger name. Through that way, the British would appreciate him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then they could push him more over here. Then he could become a bigger name that way. Because staying with Top Rank's not getting him anyway. Really. Right. I know he's pre-division.
Do you remember when Floyd Mayweather, when Top Rank said he'll never make more than $3 million for a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, he left and he did.
Yeah.
I guess Shakur's like, it worked for Floyd.
Well, they're different personalities. Floyd is smart, very smart. We'll see. He's young. I'd like to see him bring more power into his fights. I mean, he's a slick boxer, and to make the kind of money he wants, he's got to be dramatic. And let's leave it there. So let's go here to Clarissa Shields. Now, she wants a fight for the heavyweight title against Le Pen, right?
Well, she'll win.
Yeah. Well, now this is the thing. I thought, okay, go ahead. Sorry, Tom.
Are you familiar with Le Pen? Because I've watched her fight.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Set it off.
Okay, so here's the thing. Le Pen is big and heavy and strong. I mean, she could probably take Shields' punch pretty well. But, if she keeps coming, and I mean, how long and taking punches from here and there? It's kind of like when Roy Jones moved up and he fought the Puerto Rican champion for the title at the time, John Ruiz.
Yeah.
And Ruiz banged him really bad, and he was never the same after that. Even though he did win and did score more on points, he took a beating in that fight to the head. a few times. You could see it when he got nailed. So that's the only thing. I know her speed and her accuracy will keep her out of trouble, but that girl is big and she's strong. You know, she'll take those shots and keep coming. So I don't know.
Let's put it this way. Savannah Marshall is a lot bigger, right? Savannah Marshall could beat this bigger woman because she's like 6'1", and she's got the size to fill in there. Where I think that Clarissa Shields has a lot of power. She would. There's look in the women's heavyweight division. It's like we saw some of the women. Natasha Jonas went up 3 weights and knocked the woman out to win the world title. The talent at heavyweight just isn't there, and she's beaten Hannah Gabriel. Hannah Gabriel is their former heavyweight champion, so she'll win it easily. Just for skill alone.
I think also Clarissa Shields is a big girl. She's been cutting weight to middleweight. Like
and
she started out as a super middleweight.
Yeah, and she did beat Savannah Marshall, who is basically heavyweight size, right?
Yeah. The frame is a heavyweight.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think this is for the heavyweight title, and they're gonna throw like the WBO light heavyweight title in here.
Yeah, it's for the WBC.
Well, isn't she the WBC champ?
She
the heavyweight title is the WBC. That's what she's fighting for. But I think also they are going. Let me check the article. But I think also that they were saying they're going to add a light heavyweight title to this fight too.
Really?
Because Clarissa's coming in at 175, so she'll still be light heavyweight, but she'll fight the heavyweight champion for her title.
Yeah, that seems silly to put a light heavyweight championship on there. That doesn't make sense.
Can I show you?
Because Homegirl can't win the light heavyweight title. I think that's only if Clarissa wins. They'll give her the vacant.
I can't see that.
Let me read that article.
Look up.
Just tell us what it says. What does it say?
So, on the heavyweights, there's only one champion, the WBC. Then at cruiserweight, there's no champions at all. So really, she could. The IBF and WBO are vacant, and then the light heavyweight, there's 2. So really, she should. I'd have said fight at cruiserweight, fight somebody for cruiserweight rather than heavyweight, and then move up to heavyweight.
Well, all I can say is it would be a different game if it was Layla Ali or Ann Wolfe.
Oh yeah, they were better fighters, you know.
Bigger puncher. Well, Ann Wolfe was a very strong puncher. So, did you find that, Spencer?
No. Spencer,
you there? I don't know where he went.
Hold on. When I go to the next screen, I get muted on the thing. So y'all got to give me a second. I got the thing. I'm about to send it to you.
All right.
On the
Messenger.
It says that hosted by the fight streaming platform. Y'all see it on the thing?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
The 2 fighters will compete not only for the WBC women's heavyweight belt, but also for the vacant WBO light heavyweight belt. Why? Who cares? A victory for Shields would mean that she would be the first 4-division title champion ever in women's boxing, fighting for such high stakes. That light heavyweight belt, come on. Let's get real.
She could even just move up to light heavyweight and just clean those belts up in one fight or 2 fights, and then move on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reckon what they could do is they could add the rest of the heavyweight belts to it, couldn't they? Make it undisputed, make all the other belts vacant, but there's only two belts. Let me have a look again at this. At heavyweight, the WBA don't even have a heavyweight belt for women, so they could add all to make it a better fight. They could just add all the 3 belts to it, couldn't they? Just,
they could.
But that would be better then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's kind of like winning a title with an asterisk next to it. Yeah. It's like you just give it a belt.
Yeah, but that happens all the time in boxing, don't it? People.
Well, yeah.
Look, so y'all see it say the WBO light heavyweight title, right?
Right. Yeah. So great. Like she should win the title. It should be. We'll see how much Le Pen can take. But we'll see. We'll see if it wears on Clarissa. We'll see what happens. Clarissa's definitely a superior boxer to her, that's for sure. I mean, she should win. It's just
Yeah, hopefully it won't take too much out of her if you do. Like, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. So, guys, it's been a good show. We haven't done a show in a while. We got to do this more.
Can I
Right?
talk about Johnny Fisher and Alan Babbage very briefly?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
anybody-
please. I
Did
saw
anybody
it.
see that? Yeah.
I
Did you
saw
see
it.
it? Okay. Did you see it, Spencer?
Nah. Wait. No, not Babbitt. No.
Johnny Fisher knocked him out in 1 round. Absolutely pointless fight. I just thought, Babbage is finished, but he was finished in his last fight where he lost in 1 round,
Yeah.
Johnny Fisher's not going anywhere. He's not even. He might. You know what? I don't think he's got enough talent. He might win a British title, but that's probably pushing it. I don't see any talent in him at all. I agree. No.
Yeah, y'all seen the way that they cheated Oshaki Foster a couple of weeks back?
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Smelly Nigerian.
That was really, really bad.
I was like, that. I was like, and then the scores they gave him, I was like, yo, you got to be kidding me. What the hell?
Did you see his face when they announced it? It was like, what? That was bad.
When they gave that first score to Homeboy, I'm like, oh man, he about to. I'm like, how did they? I'm like, hey, he gonna win the next 2. He gotta win the next 2 judges. And then one judge called it for the next judge called it for Foster, and then the third judge called it for Robeson. I'm like, oh man, this is ridiculous. Man.
I'm going to end the podcast, but I want to talk to both of you at the end of when you finish what you're saying.
All right.
All right, we could finish.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Right. No, before you go, I just wanted to say,